Well, good morning, everybody. And today I just want to start you off with our forecasting tool just to show you a couple of great new things I've added to this. First of all, I just went to Dallas, Texas, and we're looking over here at the radar, and I'm going to be watching a low pressure center develop and sit here and spin over the next few days. And the problem is that part of eastern Texas and Oklahoma over the last 2 days has already received a lot of rainfall. So again, we're looking at Dallas, and Dallas, of course, much farther to the west here, but just take note of these rainfall totals here over the last 3 days. It's amazing just to see how much rain has fallen. Now, the forecast is for more rain in this particular area due to this low that's nearby putting down some scattered storms. But what I wanted to show you is some of the new things I added at the bottom of this forecast tool. So let's just scroll all the way down here quickly to the bottom. And I want to show you this. So first of all, the PRISM year-to-date precipitation. I've been adding to this the new MRMS data, so it means it gets it to you 2 days worth of data sooner. So we now come right up to the morning of. You can see the heavy rainfall in here. Interestingly enough, okay, if you just look at this, we're now at 112% of normal on precipitation, whereas before this event occurred, we were down here in the 70 to 80% of normal precipitation in Dallas. But the other thing I want to show you is this. Now, it's a bit messy for Dallas, but I've now started to label every day that had a temperature above 90 and a low above 70. And also I've labeled days where the temperature was below 10 degrees Fahrenheit for the winter time. So it just kind of gives us some perspective along with some statistics here. But again, the big news from this area, of course, has been the incredibly heavy rains as of late. And just looking back over the last 3 days here, we can see the totals that we measured just outside of Dallas. So this is the map, the last 3 days worth of precipitation. And again, it's this whole region that's continued to stay wet. And with the low sitting and spinning here very slowly, we're going to continue to add quite a bit more rain to that. Where I'm going with this forecast has a lot to do with the pattern shifting around a bit through the Canadian prairie. And what you're going to see here is over the next 7 days, we have a front that sags here Wednesday. That's going to bring in better chances of rain into Montana and some scattered rain throughout parts of the upper Midwest that'll move into New England. But then there's a system, it's moved a bit farther to the north, that's going to drag a weak frontal boundary here through the midsection of the country. And after all this heavy rain early this week moves out, we're going to return quite a bit of Gulf moisture into this late this week into the weekend. And the models are kind of increasing the chances of seeing some stronger storms. So let's put that together by looking at some of the model data here. I'm going to start you off with the high-res NAM model. So you're going to see two things, okay? First is the low that spins up here. Second is the frontal boundary that kind of slides into the northern United States. So you can see heavy rains are continuing to be expected throughout the day today, getting into tomorrow, just stretching right here on this this kind of stalled out low that's just going to sit here and spin. And so we're expecting to see locally 2 to 4 inches of rain out of this. But then by early tomorrow morning, excuse me, getting into tomorrow afternoon and evening, can you see the position of that front? And it's going to be pushing up against the Rocky Mountains. It's going to bring some scattered storms into the upper Midwest, and then that pulls into the eastern Great Lakes by Wednesday night, Thursday morning, bringing the more scattered storms into this area of the Midwest. From here, I got to flip over to the European to pick up where that model leaves off. So let's get you right up here to Thursday morning. There it is. So this is that first low. The front will connect right here, high pressure behind it. Now, these two, this one and this, are going to start to move east. So you can see that going from Thursday to Saturday. You can see the low pulling out here, going through the northeast, and the heavy rain finally sagging into the southeast. But then into the weekend, we have two things. There's high pressure that moves over the eastern Great Lakes. And so the flow around that's going to come like this. There's still a large subtropical ridge here, which means the flow is going to come around, which means we're going to open up the Gulf. And as this new low takes shape right here, it's going to bring a front through the midsection of the country. And that's what I'm going to be watching Saturday night in this corridor. And then getting into Sunday. This is Sunday evening here. So a lot of scattered storms in the southeast. The front sweeps through there, possibly producing some stronger storms. And then that moves on Monday into Tuesday farther to the east. So there's going to be a lingering area of showers and storms here into early next week. But just like we saw, look at this, next Wednesday into Thursday, the models are attempting to put down another high pressure cell here. So that flow comes around like this. We have the subtropical flow. We open the Gulf back up, and there's more storms that are coming here to the midsection of the country. So when you put the next 10 days together, this is the probability of getting an inch of rain. It's very high down here where the current storm system's moving slowly. And then with the Gulf opening back up, you can see there's a large area in through here that's got a 50 to 80% chance of seeing an inch of rain. There's the track of one low. That's increasing the rainfall chances in New England as well. From here, let's go take a look at temperatures. It's a cool one down here under that cloud cover, but take a look at how warm the temperatures are going to kind of rebound in the plains while the west stays quite hot. In fact, we have excessive heat warnings in places in Southern California and also heat advisories in the northwest. There's Wednesday's high temperatures. You see the front coming down here. Getting into Thursday, there it is. Warmer in the northeast and in the northwest. And then into Friday, Saturday. Now, this is going to be the day we're going to start to see the moisture return and the chance for some severe storms. And getting into Sunday, Monday, we can see the push of that cooler air coming in here while the corners kind of stay warm. Our 5-day sliding window looks something like this. And the pattern is suggesting a little bit of a change going into the beginning of September. And that's where we are right now. We could see a pretty far to the north jet stream, and the models are really advertising a lot of heat building into the Canadian prairie, so much above average temperatures there. So there's no risk at this point of some sort of an early frost. And this same heat wave is kind of echoed over in Europe as well. What you're looking at here is the next 10 days of temperature anomalies, and right in this part of Russia, another large ridge is parked, making it very hot and very dry. And this borders into, for example, into Belarus and into Ukraine as well. So very hot and dry time period here, finishing August and starting September. Real quick, since we're looking international, just want to let you know that the current system has now been downgraded to a 10% chance of surviving the trip here across the Atlantic. Too much wind shear out ahead of it, and that's going to rip it apart. But there's another African easterly wave behind this, and the National Hurricane Center has updated this to a 20% chance. So I was kind of waiting this morning to get these updates from the National Hurricane Center before I released today's video. And finally, I want to just guide you to the beginning of today's report where we talk about the current crop tours that are happening and some of the issues we're seeing in the Western Corn Belt. I try to provide some context from that, both in the report and in last night's in-depth video. So hopefully those things just provide some great insight for you. But I'll wrap it up here and plan on talking again tomorrow morning. Thanks.